Here we are once again on Wednesday. Bo No Business, Bo Knows Credit. How y'all doing out there? Welcome everybody this evening, late afternoon. Let me get another social media going here. How everybody doing? How the week been? Hump day. So today we get ourselves over the hump. So with that being said, let me start my other platforms here. Set those up. Going live on a couple social media. So how everybody doing out there? Good. Like to hear people doing good, handling business, taking care of business. Man, again, welcome everybody. Glad to, see. Glad that you were here. Again, if you want to share any comments, feel free. I put them up, post them on the board, all the above. Let me just set up something real quick here. Comment section. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get straight down to the nitty gritty. First of all, let's talk about debt. Let's start off now. My topic is going to be, I'm going to talk a little bit about some trade secrets for business credit, personal credit, different things that you can do to build your credit up, yourself up, the data furnishers, all of that, man. This is huge out here. It's a nice, different platform. What up? How y'all doing out there on IG? I'm going live a little bit, IG, Facebook behind me. We got the business and health, YouTube. Check it out. Y'all jump on board there. When we upload a lot of videos, all of that good stuff. But yeah, I want to give y'all some tips and some secrets, man. Some trade secrets on, personal credit, business credit, all of that. What's the ins and outs, how to get ahead, what to do. Yeah, feel free to comment, like, all the above, all of that. So yeah, y'all, let's figure out what to do out here, and I'm gonna shed some light, because again, I got a lot of light to shed on some people that's listening. But I want to talk about debt. Let me jump right in and start talking about debt. How many people in debt? Well, I don't want to ask that question. How many of you got debt? I left my water. I'll get that later. But how many people in debt? And the fact that we know pretty much everybody. What I want you to do later on or today after this video, calculate how much debt you in. Calculate all of your credit card payments, calculate your mortgage payments, calculate, your vehicle payments. Just calculate all your debt. See how much debt you are in. You follow me? Just to find out. Don't get scared when you realize it's an astronomical number, because the system works off your debt. You follow me? The system works off the debt that we are in. What is money? And I'm gonna talk about that. That's a phenomenal video to put together, because money is deep, and I'm gonna go into in-depth explaining in different parts about money. But to make it simple, debt is money. So, but that ain't your money. That's your debt. That is owed to somebody. You follow me? So that debt belongs to somebody else. That's somebody else's money. They making a lot of money off that debt. You know how? The interest. So the interest on that debt that you paying. So not only do you have a lot of debt, then you have interest that's associated with that debt. And some of these interest rates for these loans that people are getting are astronomical. I haven't seen loans and rates like how I'm seeing them right now. Cabbage, Blue Line, the Linden Tree, Linden Club. People, you guys want money, but you got to look at the money that you borrowing, because the money you borrowing got a lot of interest tied to it. It's already owned by a bank or owned by somebody. And I'm going to talk about who owned all that money. And then we're going to go into the details, but I'm going to pick up on that about debt later, because I want to really go and dig a little bit towards the end of the live here. I want to dig a little deep and talk about debt and explain to you, because all of that debt that you have, that again, for all the new listeners that jumped on board, get out there and calculate all of your debt and see how much debt you have, because that debt belongs to somebody else. That's somebody else's money. that you are paying with all the interest. And if you want to get out of debt, how do you get out of debt? Sometimes some people go borrow more money. You know, that's the key. If you can't pay your debt, what does the bank do? They tell you, well, let's see if we can get you another loan to pay off that loan, or we give you 0% interest for the first 12 months or 6 months. You know, that's the name of the plan. That's how it works. It works like that because that's the system. That's the system that we are in, that you are seeing going up and down. I mean, last video I talked about, I was saying how Wall Street was jamming and climbing. Now Wall Street is falling off. You know, there even your great investors and other bankers, because you got big banks, you got medium-sized banks, and you got small banks. Even your bankers and investors are starting to get a little worried. You know, and that's critical, because they catch up later. They didn't worry in the beginning like the normal people did, because the normal people worried about their job. You know, with them, they weren't about investing. You know, that's a trading. This is kind of what I'm doing back here, my graphs. But, you know, a lot of people, they not worrying about their jobs and their income, but now they are, because of what Alan Greenspan and the Federal Reserves are doing with the interest rates, which is a whole nother topic. But let me talk about credit, because that's a huge part in business, man. Like business credit and personal credit is huge. You know, all the credit data, and I made a post on my business page, and it brought a little bit of information people wanted to know. So hopefully you guys are watching the video. And again, drop some comments in, share, like the whole nine, man. Let's build up our community, and we're gonna help other businesses become successful. You know, that's the game plan. But let's talk about, and I'm gonna pick back up on debt towards the end of this video. But all the credit data reporting and furniture companies, who know about them? I mean, if you know about them, you probably know the few or the main three that reports your credit, which is all a lot of people kind of familiar with when it comes to them. But it ain't about credit. It's the data that they put out there. And then they generate a credit score, a bank score, a FICO score. You know, Experian got a score, TransUnion got a score, but the data furnishers, the first three is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Them the main ones. They the main ones because they a bigger company. They buy all the data from other little companies and they turn around and sell it. You know, so they're the data furnishers and they're data companies as well. Check System is another data furnisher. Check and people wonder, well, how come I can't get this account or can't do this or can't do that? It's because of Check System. You know, Check System are basically reporting data. Again, speaking of data, they are reporting data to different places. They all interchange the data on you and I. So Check System, if you can't get a bank account before they start doing second chance banking, all of that, Check System was a place that will report, like if you didn't pay this bank, the bank would tell other places and tell other banks. And now with technology, man, you can't hide from nobody. You can't do nothing but clean all your data. And I mean all of it. You just can't clean your credit report, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and a lot of credit report companies that's out there, man, pay them people homage, because that's a tedious process. That's a lot of work. And some companies don't dig deep like certain companies do. We do. We go in and we clean up data with all the different furniture companies, and it's a lot of work. It ain't easy. Public records, that's data. They got data, and the data come from the court system, but the court don't report it. And that's what I posted. You know, who reports that data? LexisNexis, another data furniture company. So now you got Equifax saying all of this stuff about you. You got Experian telling everybody about you. You got TransUnion telling everybody about you. You got Check System telling everybody about you. Within your credit report on public records, you got public records letting everybody know your business, and it's public. So that means you can go out and research anybody information. Hence, it's a violation of your rights, and that's a whole nother topic, whole nother story, but total violation. And that's the reason why a credit report can be beneficial if companies or individuals do it right. And then you got LexisNexis supplying data. Another data furnisher for consumers is CoreLogic. They provide information too to a lot of these different other companies, and they are reporting information amongst each other. Credit Logic, is another one. Court system, and I just spoke about them. They are the ones that's reporting the judgments and the liens and the garnishments and stuff like that. But they reported the LexisNexis, and LexisNexis in turn reported to them, which is a violation as well. So that's another challenging way to get things off your credit report, even if it's in public records. It don't matter if it's valid or accurate or not. The problem is the fact that the information could be misinformed, misused, or not reported correctly. So you can challenge that data. There is no law that says that that information cannot be challenged. Hold on one second. All right. There is no law stating that that information cannot be challenged or none of that. The laws only say certain things. So that inaccurate information that they're challenging on you or reporting on you is actually a hindrance on your behalf. And credit is key. Like, you need credit to get ahead. Flat out, credit is very, very beneficial. It's definitely needed in a time like now, because everything is about this credit system. Everything's about this system. Let me not refer to it as a credit system, because it is a system. And it's all about your data. Who else furnished data? Yeah, stuff just cutting off. I want to keep things on here. I apologize about that. Who else furnished data? You got your employers. Your employers furnish data. How do you think they know about, you think about it, when you get a job, who they reach out to? Previous and prior employers. And it's all kind of companies that report that information to your employers. You know, it's a lot of companies that report that. So they are another data furnisher company for consumers. Background checks. When you get your background checks and all of that, that's data furnishing too. They putting your information out there. If you've been to court, if you got arrested for traffic tickets, if you got speeding tickets, then they turn around, they report that data to insurance companies, and insurance companies turn around, give you a quote based on the data that they receive from the court system, you know, all of the different places, your background checks, like all of this data has to be cleaned up. So it ain't just about credit repair, it's about data repair. What I'm gonna start speaking on is, and when I post things, I'm not gonna talk about credit no more, because credit is just a minute factor here. It's all the data. CaseNet, some of you have heard of CaseNet. You know, if you trying to get an apartment, trying to get a place, even though your credit is clean, they'll pull your credit on CaseNet, not credit, I'm sorry, they'll pull the data off CaseNet. I had a client reach out to me and say they applied for a loan, and they were unaware that they pulled LexisNexis, and the young lady spoke and said, I've never heard of them. I'm like, oh yeah, they exist, but I never heard of companies pulling from LexisNexis. This is the first. I mean, on a consumer, you know, looking for a consumer credit card, you'd think that don't require it. You just typically go to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, but things are changing drastically. So the key is to clean up that data. And of course, another data furnisher, the internet. The internet is putting so much information out there, business out there. I mean, we already know that when we online, stuff pop up that we like, you know, because you're searching it. They looking at your data. They read. It is all about data. How do you dispute that data? How do you clean that data? So we already know, and some people do this on their own. They go, and I promote doing things on your own. Thus, we have a company. It ain't about us doing everything, but we can do it. We can be more aggressive. We know a lot of tricks and trades. You know, I'm a paralegal as well, so I got a little bit of, you know, legal background and some other degrees that I use to help further and get things off of people's credit. But if not, and you're doing things on your own, these are some things that you want to know. And like I say, drop some comments, share. I don't know if I can see the comments right now. It probably pop up later. Sometime I can, sometime I can't. This particular platform is a little different at times. But the key is to clean up that data. You know, you want to clean that data up, not just with Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, with all the other places I just named before them. And then you also, if they're not listening and they're not paying you no attention, they violating your rights, then what else do you want to do? You want to file a complaint. And people are like, well, where do I file a complaint at? Here's a few places to file a complaint. One is the CFPB, and that stands for Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So they protect the consumers. You got different rights as a consumer. You got the Debt Collection Practices Act. You got the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You got different acts that protect you as a consumer. And these are laws and different things that you should know to get your data cleaned up. And if anything, not have it being used at all. Is misrepresentation of you. You know, it's like me. If I don't know you, right, and we just get to meet each other, we try to get acquainted. You try to get an understanding or feel for your friend, client, or whoever it is you just met. So the key is to understand that individual. So in order to understand that person, you got to talk to them. You got to get to know them. You got to identify them, and ain't no telling if they who they say they are. But with this case, all they do is pull your data. But the key to clean that data up is, like I say, filing the complaints there, understanding your rights. Another place to file a complaint would be the state attorney general's office. Your state attorney general, that's what their job is, to deal with stuff that consumers having that's issues to them. So, you know, you want to clean that up with them. Also, the BBB, the Better Business Bureau. So you can file complaints on companies. Equifax is a company. Experian is a company. TransUnion is a company. CoreLogic, CreditLogic, LexisNexis, all of them are companies. You know, and that's part of what I want to talk about. I want to break half the video down just going into, you need to understand your data and you need to clean your data up. So it ain't just about your credit report and no darn credit score. It is bigger than that. It's way bigger than that, but it starts with credit. And when I say credit, I'm just overalling it all. Credit is huge. And now credit is more needed and used than anything. You cannot do anything these days. And in the future, with what I'm looking at, the changes that's being implemented without credit. I remember you used to be able to rent a car without a credit card. You just take a debit card up there and they start pulling your credit. And now you need a credit card. It's all changing. So don't get left behind. Clean up your credit, your data, make it look good. The next thing I want to talk about is business, you know, because business is huge. So you are a business, first of all, and I'm not going to get deep into that. If you have a social security number, that's a business. The business, after they came with that concept after the Great Depression, because a lot of people, it was a way to pay off the debt, basically. We have to make it, the system decided to come up with a plan to help pay off that debt. You know, and the debt was, let's make everybody a business. And I'll talk about that later, but you are a company already. You don't even know it. You're walking around here as a company and ain't even getting the benefits of being a company. You know, look at your mail, look at your letters. I mean, look at your mail, your letters, anything that come to the mail of you, what is it? Isn't it all capital letters? Now go look at your business that you registered with your Secretary of State. Isn't that all capital letters as well? Absolutely. So understand that you are a business already. So you need to act like one, or just understand it. That's how it works. I'm not going to say act like a business or, you know, move like a business, because it involves a lot of other detailed work that's not a part of this show. But yeah, you are a company. Well, let's talk about how to start a business. You know, if you never ran a business, started a business, owned a business, the time is now. Because for anybody that's benefited from some of the stimulus packages, they are company related. They're giving personal money out to people because, of course, that's how the fiat system works. They got to put money out there. And I'll talk about more of that later. But how to start a business. First, you need to set up your business. You know, come with a name. Name your company. Once you get a name, you know, that you like, that's the first start. Have a good name. St. Louis Cardinals, whatever. This is a business. It's a baseball team. Set up your business. Once you get your name, you want to set your business up. You know, set up with the Secretary of State, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go into details on that. Next is a location. So if you're looking to do business, a location is key. And a lot of people say, well, I don't need office space, or I can't afford office space. Then, okay, they have virtual office space. And some banks recognize them. It just depends. Some of the places that are used, that some banks recognize them, some banks don't. But you got virtual offices like Regis and sort of places like that that you can rent partially, you know, run your business there. And when I started business, none of this stuff exists, by the way. Like, this is all new. I love it. It's phenomenal. It's exciting. You know, even the times are exciting. So don't panic. You know, sit back and observe. So getting the location, getting a virtual office is fantastic. Your business entity, whether or not you want to be a LLC or INC or S corp or C corp, all of that is a factor. So those are different structures of your company depending upon how your company or what your company consists of, how many people in your company. Then your structure should be based on that, and also tax purposes. Just depends. So that's a whole nother topic, whole nother details. I put a video, and I got a few videos I'm gonna put out on social media just showing whole details on how to do a business. It's a simple video, and that video will break everything that you need down. Again, share, like, comment, all the above. Jump on the YouTube right up there. Go Business and Help. Check it out. Get involved. We're gonna post a lot of good things, a lot of good stuff. Man, just gonna keep it going and growing and glowing. So business entity, LLC, INC, S Corp, C Corp, those are different structures that you need. Next, after that's done, then you get yourself your federal tax ID number. Yep, the federal tax ID number is kind of like your social security number. It's the entity identification number, employer identity. So anytime you are, doing business and constructing business, your EIN number is what serves the mechanism in between that. So companies know who to send 1099 or W-9 or W-2. That's how they keep track. So your EIN number is very important, kind of like your social. When you go and apply for a job, you fill out those different forms, and that information is being transpired within the system to keep up and identify who gave you what, so then they can know. So keep up and make sure you understand that. And another thing, when you build your business credit, people ask, well, where does the business credit go? How is it on the business? Is it on, PayNet or PayDax, the Dun & Bradstreet number? No, not at all. It is on your EIN number. The same way your credit is on your social security number or your credit/data. So the EIN number will provide the data for the business, meaning whatever type of services you have done, whatever type of loan, collateral you have done with any other entities, to show that, okay, now I know this person here. Pulling their data lets me know who you are. You done business with 5, 10 companies, you paid them on time, you paid them off, you pay the interest, you can borrow more money, you can get in more debt, create more debt. Come on, that's how we make money. Debt equals money. If there were no debt out here in society, the money would not exist. You wouldn't see your checkbook money. You wouldn't see your receipt money. You wouldn't see your fiat currency money. You would see no money. No money will exist because there will be no debt. So debt is part of the system that we are in. And as you can see, it's going through some turmoil. And the key is to understand how it works and make it benefit for you, your kind, and your family. Next, when you get your business EIN number, set up a telephone. You got to have a telephone. And cell phones are fine, but landlines works better with loans. They want to identify that you are a serious company, because nowadays anybody can get a cell phone, anybody can get a Regis address, which some of those places they don't honor. I'm not going to name which places because I'm not going to, discuss no other company and their details, but exercise due diligence and do your research so you can know. But get a telephone, landline, voice over internet provider, VoIP. That's a good phone system that you can have at home that can be considered your landline. So there are ways to do things in banks like landlines. And I'm explaining that later why a landline is important. Business licensing, that's another thing you want to get. So once you have your business set up, you got your business name, you got your business location, where your LLC, and you got your EIN number, you got your telephone rocking and rolling. Now you just get you a couple licenses, federal license or state, local license, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever kind of business you're in, whatever licenses are required, then you pick those up. But back to telephone services. So when you get your telephone service and you get all these different platforms, you want to list, or you don't necessarily have to list yourself. You can. There's a place that's literally called List Yourself, and you can list you or you can list your business. But when you apply for things and when you put your information out there, you don't even have to apply for anything. You can just go and say, I want to, you go rent a Regis office, and that information is being reported somewhere. So that data gonna be out there. But if you don't have any good data on you, then you should list yourself. Listyourself.org, I believe you can put data on yourself and your company, good data, by the way, because they're reporting some data. Some of the data they're reporting, it ain't accurate. And that's the reason why you need to challenge that data. You don't know if they got the right SIC code. You don't know if that collection that you owe is true. That bill you paid was not late. A lot of that stuff ain't even accurate, and you running around trying to do business and your data screwed up. Next, you need a domain name. This didn't exist back then when businesses was coming up when I was doing business, but nowadays the internet has taken over, and you need a domain name. People need to be able to identify and find you. You need a well put together site. If you're a real estate contractor or whatever you may do, plumber, you need a site that states that you're doing plumbing, etc. Banks are looking at that. Companies are looking at that. Even companies that want to do business with you would like to see a face and a presence. Website, domain name, and then of course a logo. Get yourself a good logo and make your business look professional. And speaking of professional, you want a professional email. Everybody got Gmail and Yahoo and all these different little email accounts. You need a professional email. So your domain name, whatever your company name, www.myfirstbusiness.com, your email address should be your name at myfirstbusiness.com. That's professional. Banks look at that. That's real important. Social media. Social media is huge. So you gotta get a presence. You want to get out there, get on social media. That's what these platforms are for. If you in business and whatever you may do, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, man, and it's a good thing. I love working with people. I love seeing the success of their companies. I love them calling and saying, hey, I done did this, I done hired that, I went to another level. These people are, doing things that some of them I haven't even thought of, so we all learning. But a business is definitely important. And those are some of the things that you want to do to get your business going and to start your business. Now, next, how I talked about credit, personal data furniture on the consumer side, there are data furnishers on the business side. The business side get more in depth because, again, that's what everything is about. Some of the business data furnishers is like PayNet. PayNet is an equipment company. They report, they give reporting, they do both. SBFE, Small Business Financial Exchange. Banks pull from them, they report the different places, they report data, they do both. Equifax Business is huge. Equifax report a lot of different things on people. It's kind of hard for companies. Well, I ain't gonna say it's kind of hard for companies to report. In the past, there were not a lot of companies using Equifax, but now they are, because you got Equifax financial lines, Equifax non-financial lines. You got the comprehensive Equifax reports. You got different reports. Equifax bought out PayNet. These are some of the things that these data furniture companies are doing. They're taking over all the data and they're adding more data. They gobbling up the smaller data companies and they're kind of pushing your information in and seeing all and putting your data in this one pot. So they got all this information on it. They buying and selling, just your data. Experian Business. So Experian has consumer and Experian has business. That's another data furniture on the business side. There is no TransUnion for business. So I know some people ask me, but what about my TransUnion business report? TransUnion does not exist in the business world, only consumer reporting agency. You also have Dun & Bradstreet, and a lot of people heard of them. Well, I got my Dunn's number and my credit good with Dun & Bradstreet. No, that is not the same at all. Banks don't really look at Dun & Bradstreet for lending purposes. They look for Dun & Bradstreet for data purposes. So they will pull your business report, data report, business credit score, which is all the above, from Dun & Bradstreet and Experian or Equifax Business or PayNet or SBFE. So they pull in both. So if you built up your Dun & Bradstreet, well, that's good. Congratulations. You got what's called vendor credit. Seton, Uline, Granger, it's 100 of them. I got a list of companies that you can build your Dun & Bradstreet score with, and I have programs and step-by-steps and stuff that people can do, to build Dun & Bradstreet. Not a bad thing, but you also want to build your data with, the big boys. You want to build your data with the big boys that the lenders use. Dun & Bradstreet is a big boy, but lenders who are from like SBFE, PayNet, Experian Business, Equifax Business, Dun & Bradstreet, of course, is the data furnisher. So, and they getting data from the rest of them places, but your loans that you get, like say if you got a loan with Region, your Region Bank loan, the line of credit does not report to Dun & Bradstreet. I repeat, it does not report to Dun & Bradstreet. So if you pull your Dun & Bradstreet report and be like, what happened to all these loans and credit cards my business got that reported? Yeah, they're not there. They're on the PayNet report. They're on your Equifax report. They're on your Experian Business report. They're on your SBFE report. Another data furnisher company is Bank Rating Services. These are places, banks rather, that get data from other reporting services, which I name SBFE as one. So they get data from SBFE on your company, and they give you what's called a bank rating. So this stuff occurs when you apply for different loans. Hence why it's important to have assistance if you don't know these things with funding. You don't want to go nowhere and get an inquiry on your personal credit and your business credit, plus get turned down for the loan. No, that ain't the point of doing and building your data or your business or personal credit. So those are other important factors. The third parties that report data is FD Insight. That's another company. And what I mean by third parties, they report to those parties like the big boys. And these are little mini data furnisher companies. So it's a lot of them out there. Cortera, that's another one. Credit.net, and then Check System, again, on the business level. So these are all different data furnisher companies. And I'm going in a little bit over my time. I try to keep it 30 minutes because I know people got a lot of stuff to do, but it's going to be probably about 40. All right. Now, when you get all that done, open up your bank account, get that going in your business name with your business address, open up your merchant account. And merchant accounts now are easy. You got Zelle, you got Venmo, you got Pay, Square. You got all kind of things that did not exist. I repeat, when we started business years ago, it was hard getting a merchant account. So that means we couldn't collect nobody money unless they was dealing in cash. You have to go out and meet people, collect payments, get cash. Oh man, y'all are blessed with technology. Use it to your advantage. Then a business concept, business plan. That's the next thing. So after you get your merchant account, open your account, put together a business plan. There are so many apps and different things out there. This will go a long way, not only for you, it'll go also a long way for the banks. So well, not only for the banks, for you as well. I flip that around. So the banks would definitely like to see a plan, but a plan works well for you because now you're putting things down on paper and you get things done and you beating procrastination, which is kicking our butt sometimes because some people don't do things due to lack or procrastination, lack of action. Well, I'm going to do this today or I'm going to do this tomorrow. Don't put it off. Get it done. Get it out the way. Now that you got all this stuff done for business and you got your stuff reporting and you picked up some lines, we have business trade references too, which are sometimes referred to as business trade lines, but the correct term is trade reference. Those particular trades are provided through companies that I manage and deal with, and we can report to these places that you never heard of. And that's when you go and apply and work with funding. So once you get all your ducks in a row and things in order, you off to funding, you off to your new venture, your joint venture, your business, your partnership, your solo ship, whatever you want to call it. It's time to start moving and grooving. And that's the benefits of having, your data cleaned on a personal level, your data cleaned on, your business level, picking up companies, understanding companies. Like, it's a lot more that I can go in. I can talk about this stuff for hours and hours and, go in depth, which one day I might just go in and just start talking. We just gonna go on a ride and talk, and I'm gonna put y'all out on here with me and answer some questions and see what people are doing, because people got a lot of questions, and I can answer them simply by, going through these different platforms, popping up, and everybody might have some of the same questions. Now back to debt, because I'm going to wrap up, like I say, about 40 minutes. I want to talk about debt. And I was talking about how debt is basically created out of nothing. So when you go in and apply for a loan, you create that debt. And you're probably wondering why. How did I create the debt? Oh, well, my signature. I heard you have my signature. You put down your donate, all of that. Nah, it ain't just that. You created the debt because you guaranteed payment. How? Look on the back of the bill. Full faith and credit. That's what you agreed to. You agreed based on your data, which is what they looked at. They're like, oh, this is a perfect candidate. They take care of their business. They can take care of their data. That person can keep the fiat system going. Give them money, a lot of money, because it's nothing to us. We didn't think about it. Now, let me ask you something. So say I got, or you got, whoever, you want to borrow some money, buy a house. You need a couple $100,000. If y'all sitting on a couple $100,000, right, and you only got that, the hard-earned money, you put this together, you worked hard to get this, you sitting on this couple $100,000, and somebody say, man, I want to borrow that to buy a house. Would you do it? I mean, would you do it? Couple $100,000, they want to borrow it, they want to buy a house, and they're going to pay you $1,300 a month, amortized for 30 years. Well, it makes sense on the interest side. If you got the 200,000 sitting to the side, you're not worried about it. You're making $1,300 a month. But then your question is, well, if you really can't do it or not really willing to loan this person 200 grand, I'm not, because you thinking I can do a lot more with 200 grand than wait on my money for 30 years and only get $1,300 a month on 200 grand. You're probably thinking, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, if you ain't finna do it, how the banks do it? How the banks? You ain't never thought about that. How the banks do it? How they give you their hard-earned money? Or is it their hard-earned money? That's gonna be the topic that I'm gonna talk about more about. What is debt? What is money? All your loans you are making, they are making this off the interest. And the interest is paid by you. Your labor. Flat out. Yeah, I'll explain that later. All the loans and all the money that exists starts where? At the bank. It goes back where? To the bank. Exactly. So if you borrow $10,000 from the bank and they want interest and principal, you paying the principal out of this business, but the interest come from you working. Say you go work at the bank. Right? You the janitor, you the clerk, whatever you are. And whatever interest that they charging you, right? You get that back to them, right? When you get finished working. So how you paying back the money? Your labor. Every dollar that's borrowed, no matter where it comes from, it starts at the bank and it ends back at the bank. No matter where it it's gonna start at the bank and it's gonna end at the bank. Hence, why the reason the banks are the most important companies and businesses to this system. Them, Congress, Federal Reserve, just pay attention. Look at the banks, look at the bailouts. Any time we have chaos, like on the market today, they talked about the banks. Buffett sold his stocks that he had in banks, other companies, other corporations. So when you sell your stocks, right, which is money that they sit and use to build bonds or get bonds and T-bills and, reserves to get more money. Yeah, you get $1 reserves. Here go $9 to $10 more. Just keep $1 there. We're going to give you 10. $1 million, we're going to give you 10 million. So all of that, when you move your money out of those particular entities, then the system don't work. It will collapse. Why Wall Street dropped down? It will collapse quickly. So understanding ain't just understanding about you. You ain't the only person that need to know what's going on. We all need to know what's going on. And we all need to collectively, if we're going to be a part of it, understand it and do it to its full benefit. Because again, any money that you make, any labor that you have, all of that money is going back to the banks. You know, and when I say it, calculate your debt, that's how much money that they got or whoever got that loan to you has. That's money. Your debt is somebody else's money. So now the key is to figure out how can you have debt for money? How can you have some IOUs? How can you get some promissory notes? You know, that's the key. And that's what this about here. How to build yourself. Man, this is serious business. We're not playing over here. So we want you to know and grow and go. Messing with both. But anyway, I got the rhyming and that's it. But I want to kind of wrap up, man. I appreciate everybody out there for jumping on, for taking the time to listen to people on Instagram here, people here on Facebook, all the above. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. When y'all get done, if you like my stuff, like it. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, like it. Because you're going to catch it sooner or later. You might swing and miss, but that back catcher right there, boop, he got the ball. So I appreciate y'all taking out y'all Wednesday evening hump day to get a little information, get a little inspiration, keep you going and growing. Let's push. Let's figure out. Sharing is current. You know, I'm trying to show the wealth because that's what it's about. That money that you get in that stimulus check, reinvest that, put that somewhere. That's what they want you to do. Why come you ain't doing it? I mean, you spending it somewhere, but still, you don't want to spend it looking for the next check, looking for the next unemployment. Start creating debt with somebody else. Put somebody else in debt so they can be your money. And then they can duplicate that. Show them how to put somebody else in debt. So if we can use debt to grow, then we can use debt to go. So debt can be a benefit if you understand it. All this is a benefit. The key is just understanding it all and how to deal with it. But with that being said, I want all of you guys to enjoy yourself. I'm about to exit out of here. Thanks again for all of my friends and family and people out here on Facebook. See you guys later and next Wednesday. Bo Knows Business. Check out the YouTube. Different things that I put out there. Subscribe. I'm gonna be uploading all kind of good, wonderful videos that we making that can explain other than me just talking. You know, you can just get some animated stuff, some cartoons. Like we're gonna use the social media and make it work. And again, thanks Facebook. Appreciate y'all. I'm ending this broadcast.